So, yeah. I'm gonna do these. Ooh, do I do them how difficult they are or how much I enjoy them? Because for Hollow Knight, we obviously did them based on how much of a fraud they were, / how difficult they were. We kind of tied the two together. But I think I might just do these. Yeah, I mean, the purpose of this is the best bosses. So we're not doing difficulty, we're doing how good of a boss fight I think they are, from my opinion. We'll probably get rid of this D tier. Do I go in order? Yeah, let's go in order. Alright, let's start with Sigrid. S tier. It's not Sigrid, no, that is Sigrid. I forgot to add Sigrid to my favourite bosses of all time list, which I meant to do. So, we're going to do that later. I'm going to find an image of Sigrid. Pop on over there. Alright, Sigrid S tier. I think Sigrid is the best first boss fight in any game. I'm trying to think, Hollow Knight, you got the False Knight, which is a joke, he's a fraud. And, as we said in the Hollow Knight video, go watch that if you want the full explanation. A Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order, the first boss in Fallen Order, they don't have a proper boss fight, like a proper story boss fight for so long, because the second sister ones are all not full boss fights. You can do Ogdo if you want, but you can jump on him from above and basically one-shot him. Which is weird that they let you do that, but hey. And I'm trying to think of other games. No, I think Sigrid is the best first boss fight of all time. The boss itself, it's not difficult. The attacks are telegraphed well. Easy first try. But the second form is just so elite. It's so on point. It's one of the best transformations, if not the best transformation in a boss fight of all time. It beats Silver just because, it's the same thing. I mean, Silver's a more difficult boss. I mean, I think Silver took me 2 or 3 tries. Maybe more. I don't remember. At this point, I can just go back and watch my own YouTube video to remember. I don't think... It was so long ago. Actually, I think Silver took me more than 2 tries. Sigurd was definitely 1. Silver, I actually think I might be underplaying, and I think Silver was more. Yeah. I think I'm underplaying Silver. I just can't really remember this. I don't know why my memory of Hollow Knight bosses is so much better. I guess we were playing the game for longer, and the streams were more popular, so it's just in my brain a bit more. Anyway, S tier, not the best boss in the game, but one of the best bosses of the best first bosses, one of the best bosses in the game. Next is Gerald, or Gerald. Is he B or A tier? I would have been A tier. I really like him. I think he is probably the most difficult boss in the game. Because you fight him at the start of the game, he's the second boss, or the third boss, because you can do Elaine, interchangeably with Gorod, I'm pretty sure. In fact, I think I did Gorod, then went to Elaine, then came back and beat Gorod later. Yeah, I think he's a great boss. It's my cup of tea. Same with Sigrid. Is a boss with melee attacks. He's got a big hammer. Okay? You just need to time your dodges well. When you get into the rhythm of it, you're in the rhythm of it, right? That makes sense? I don't know. Nothing crazy. He's difficult, which I like. He's a good boss. I like his design. And he's very good when you unlock him. And both of these two are, both of these two are, usable up until the end game. I mean, I stopped using Gerard when I got Julius. And I don't know if I stopped using Sigrid. I think I switched Sigrid out for Hoenir, but even then, that's after I've already got the first ending to the game. Next, Elaine. My least favorite boss in the game. I don't think any of the bosses deserve D tier. Let's get rid of D tier, because I think D tier is a bit disrespectful to this game. I don't like bosses that spam magic. She just spams magic. It's, in my opinion, less fun. You're shooting magic, you get close to them, they teleport away, you spend a lot of the boss fight tracking the boss down, following them, and they're just shooting range attacks at you. Not my cup of tea. I appreciate that there are builds in End of Lillies that let you do more range stuff and summoner stuff. That's not my thing. I'm a melee guy. I like running in with the big weapon attacks and the parries, and then, well, Not my favorite boss. In fact, my least favorite boss in this game. But you know, it's not a terrible boss. It's fine. It's okay. Silver, I think, is A tier, if I remember correctly. Like I'm trying to like some of the bosses I remember a bit better than other bosses. Silver is a decent boss. It's kind of like Sigrid, just harder. Design-wise, they're basically the same. The second phase, the fact she's got that second phase bump shot to way too. Great second phase. I don't really remember the boss fight that well. I just remember it being good. But like the arena might be the best arena in the game. I mean, there is an arena in the second game that clears it by a mile, but it was a good boss. I don't really have anything to say about it. The existence. Because I don't remember much, I'm more inclined to go B tier, but the second phase put to A tier. Ulv. I don't like Ulv. Where did he go? Here. I think he's probably C tier. I remember fighting him, and I was just struggling, because if you use the parry knight, you normally parry them and stun them for a second, if I remember correctly. But with Ulv, it doesn't work. If you parry his attack, he'll still hit you with his second attack on his main melee one. He'll hit, you can parry it. He'll still hit you with the second one, even if you parry the first one. And that made him the most annoying boss in the game to fight. With Elaine. C tier, not as bad as Elaine because he's melee and he feels more rewarding to beat, but it just felt not necessarily the most fun boss to fight. Always good to see console. Right, Hoenir is... I want to put him in C tier. This B tier is getting no use. I'll put him above Ulv just because of the weird Ulv interactions with parrying. Right, Hoenir in C tier because Hoenir, he's a weird boss fight. He's really easy. I mean, beat him to my second try because on my first try I was just fumbling. I was just being an idiot. The whole boss fight is he just spawns in guys. And I don't like bosses that spawn in enemies. In fact, I'm going to put him below Ulv. Do I even put him at the bottom? Yeah, matter of fact, I'm going to put it at the bottom. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not really a boss fight. You just sort of fight a bunch of enemies. And his attacks are so easy to dodge. It's not really second easiest boss in the game. And just a joke. It's not really a boss fight, but I like him. His attack that you get when you beat him is incredible. I mean, that is S tier endgame level stuff. Why am I second here? Second this guy. Right. What is this guy called? Fagan or Faden or Fadon? I don't know. This guy is not actually the boss, so I don't know why the image is this guy. This is the guy you get when you beat the boss. The boss, Muriel the Beloved, I believe the name of the actual boss is, because this guy is not the boss. I don't know why he's here, but I know which boss he's representing. I think that's B tier. I've seen a lot of people hating on Muriel for, I think, good reasons. It's a static boss. It doesn't move. It's just on the left-hand side of the screen the whole boss fight. Its attacks do ridiculous damage. I mean, they do about 95% of your health bar, 90% of your health bar, even if you've got max HP with basically all the upgrades like I did. There are some attacks that require you to do insane levels of air stalling, which is only possible with attacks like Hoenir, where you can stall in the air to not touch the ground. But I didn't have a problem with that because I used Hoenir and I didn't mind that it was static. I liked that it did a lot of damage. It meant that I really had to play well. So I get all the reasons people don't like the boss, but most of those are reasons why I do like the boss. It's not a crazy good boss fight. It is annoying how much damage it does, but I don't think it's a C tier. I don't really have any problems with the boss. It's just an interesting boss, difficult, unique, but I don't really hate it. It's just a boss. Okay, next boss is the final boss of the game, which has 2 different fights depending on if you're doing the normal ending or the true ending. I don't know if it's the game calls it the true ending. It's ending C. It's the what I would consider the true ending. This one's only got 1 image, so I guess I'm just going to treat it like the true ending one, because the other one's just the first phase of the fight. I think this boss is B tier. I think it's probably here. It's not great. It's really, really easy. I did the normal one first try. I think I did the true final boss on my second try, maybe third maximum. Really easy. Its attacks are easy to dodge because a lot of its attacks do damage, like if you're on the floor. But because the boss's hitbox is off the floor, you spend most of the fight in the air stalling, which is something this game, teaches you to do by using attacks. And it just sort of summons stuff, which is not the most difficult things to kill, especially if you spam the up specials, whatever they're called, the SP bar with Julius and Hoenir, which is what I do normally anyway. The boss design is not bad. It's just not great. It's an alright boss. I kind of wish the final boss was more difficult, because there are bosses like Gerard or Alv or Julius that took like a lot of tries. I mean, I think Julius was like an hour and a half. Alv, Gerard, an hour maybe. It's the final boss, and I'm beating it on its true difficulty, full, true ending, whatever, in 3 tries. A bit disappointing, but I find a lot of games have sort of disappointing final bosses. Between this and Hollow Knight. Right. Final boss. Well, this is not the final boss of the game. He's like 2/3 of the way into the game. Julius. I think Knight Commander Julius, has a contender. He has the potential to be the best video game boss I have ever fought in my life. I mean, it's hard for me to say he's the best boss of all time. I have not played every single game in existence. But out of all of the games that I have played, he might be the best boss fight I've ever fought. I mean, he's the inspiration for a tier list we're going to look at later, where I'm ranking my favourite bosses from, 7 or 8 different games. The boss fight is so fun. That's the best way to put it. It's very fun. I know not everyone finds him challenging. I found him challenging. He's the boss that took me the longest time in the game to beat. But it wasn't one of those bosses where you take a really long time because they're really annoying, like Ulv down here. He took a lot of time because his attacks were annoying, and it didn't work well with the parry function. And it was just hard to beat him because I had to play very differently to how I was used to playing. The same with Muriel. I have to play very differently to how I'm used to playing. Julius, you need to be on point with the parrying, on point with the dashing, on point. You need to be. You can only do damage to him if you're behind him. You need to be really think about your positioning. A lot of his attacks do so much damage, and if you get hit by them, it's quite dangerous. But when you get into the rhythm of dodging him and parrying him and getting behind him, and it's so satisfying to beat him. So, my favorite character in the game. Well, my second favorite character in the game, but my favorite boss in the game. Incredible.